All right, chat. Let's talk about double exposure. There's a lot of cool stuff. I'll say this, chat. If you like the game, that's great. I think you should leave my stream just for a little bit because I am gonna I'm not saying it's a bad game. Some people might like it. That's the beauty of games, It's just, so I'm gonna vent. If you don't like it, that's fine. But if you want to stay and listen to what I have to say, that's okay too. Let's start with the storytelling. It has nothing to do with Life is Strange, okay? The only thing that has to do with Life is Strange is the fact that it is very, very fucking strange. And not in a good way, in a bad way. Not like, oh my god, it's quirky. It is absolute ass. So, the pacing of the story is not like any other stories, chat. And you can feel that.
Scammed for $4
because they go slow. Okay, let's not compare it to Life is Strange. Let me just pretend like I never played the original Life is Strange game. And I just played this game. It wasn't that bad. If you don't like Life is Strange, you've never played Life is Strange, this game is not that bad. The graphics were phenomenal. I don't know what to say. The visuals were great. The music choices were great. It's just everything else was ass. So it's like, have you ever seen like a man carry all the baggage? That's what the graphics did and the songs did to every other thing in the game. However, if you have played Life is Strange and you're like me, and you're a big fan of Life is Strange 1, and you're like, oh my god, finally, Max Caulfield is making a comeback, and I'm so excited to look at her story and enjoy my nostalgia trip. This game is so fucking bad, right? It has nothing to do with it. It's trying to pay homage, but it's so shit. The story, that the story is meant to hit you close to home, This game is so slow. Nobody talks like this. They talk as if the players cannot speak. Does that make sense? It is so slow paced. And the plot of the story is your friend died because you killed your friend, which is apparently the best ending you can get so far. And then you find out that it's really messy around here because everyone screwed everyone up. And it's like, oh, but Michi, you gotta understand, Safi, like, her mom tried to cover up for the death of her friend, and everyone else was trying to justify the death of her friend. Yeah, well, Safi didn't say anything either, though. I'm not saying that Safi's wrong, but Safi was definitely not right. And to correct herself, she decided to take quote-unquote vengeance on everyone by ruining their lives. One of them, and yes, it's bad, but they ruined not only their life, but the life of his son and his family, who was pretty fucking fine. And it's justified because, oh, they fucked up. They killed this girl. Yes, but Safi, whether it's with the influence of anyone else, also agreed with them at that time. Which is like, you are not the true victim here, if that makes sense. The true victim is the dead girl that killed herself, right? Because she killed herself. But everyone else is acting like, I didn't fuck it up that much, I didn't fuck it up. I'm Safi, and it's everyone's fault, and it's not mine. No, you were her best friend. And in the game, it was hinted that they were more than just friends, right? She told her to not talk about her struggles as her close friend. And she's like, oh my god, I'm the victim. No, the victim was the dead girl. And throughout this whole game, you as the player play as Max Caulfield, sadly, who treats this suicide as blackmail instead of something that is sensitive and everyone is affected. No. Max then talks to people about a suicide of a very sad girl to blackmail people and goes like, oh my god, like, I know what happened to that girl that killed herself. Yeah, you shouldn't talk about it. That's not the point. That's ironically the first whole big chunk of the game, right? No remorse, no pity, no nothing. The only character that's like, hey, can you talk about this lightly, is Vin. And Vin is a guy who, yeah, they grew up poor and now they just want to survive in the world and they're taught to be a bit edgier and shit. Vin is just a horny freak. But he's the only horny freak that actually talks about the suicide of someone in a normal human way. Now, that's the issue of the game. No one in the game is human. The only person that is human is Moses. That's the only character that borders humanity. Because he's actually just a normal person. Now, I think what happened where the devs were looking at Moses like, oh, how do we build a fun story from a character like Moses? And they realized, oh, maybe you can't because they don't think about it. And then they make everyone just so unbearable. And then, now we'll get into the flaw of it, right? In the start of the game, Max is like, I don't want to use my powers because it's going to fuck up the timeline. And then 2 chapters in, after 4 gruesome, painful hours of boring conversation that revolves around sex, alcohol, and drugs, she suddenly used her powers. Oh, yeah. But my friend died. Instead of reversing time to save her friend, she decides to sulk for a week-ish, 2 weeks, and then ate homemade focaccia bread and homegrown salads, and then decides to use her powers anyway. Even though she said she wouldn't. Okay. Right? And then, now here's another issue that comes into play. In the game, they introduce you so many mechanics. You can go back in time by looking at a picture, which is homage to her original powers that she refused to use, and she only used it twice. The first one was to confront herself in the past that was about to shoot her friend, that probably should have done it anyway. And the other one was to jump into a storm. Twice. That's another game mechanic. The other one is apparently if the person from the other universe touches the person from the now universe, they get Thanos slapped from reality. And you know how many times they use that? Once. One time. No one else gets Thanos slapped. No one else died like that. Only one guy did. And you find out that if you died that way, everything about you is gone, right? Apparently, according to reports, instead of being born at all, your mother dies. So you were never born. That was such an interesting setup. A very interesting mechanic that gets used nowhere else in the game. Nil. And then another funny little, what's going on with this game? That is purely story, right? We're not getting into the bugs, the glitches, none of that. Just purely story writing. Out of nowhere, in the fight, like everyone is stressed. Everyone is like, I almost died. The people there are just like, oh, time to get drunk and have sex. They just resume their life. Like nothing fucking changed? Okay. That's weird. And then this is all in the disguise that everyone in college acts this way. You know, because college students, that's all that buzzes through their head. Which then we'll get to later, right? The TLDR of this story is we are playing as a character named Max Caulfield, which was the main character in Life is Strange 1. But here, the story is revolutionarily different, chat. So, I really like what they did here, okay? You play as Max Caulfield, and you have a best friend who is a broken, rugged teen that everyone wants to bang because they're so hot and rugged. But your best friend has deep lore because her old best friend died. And you know whose fault it was? A male art teacher that did some shit. And it's all his fault. So we play the whole game trying to make sure that our current best friend isn't going to die because apparently they have died in the first chapter of the game. They died. And we're like, oh shit. And you know how they died in the first chapter of the game? They were shot. Which is, I have never seen that before. Our best friend was shot to death. And we're like, oh no, they're shot. So then we spent the whole entire game trying to make sure she doesn't die. And then, by the end of the game, it's either we kill her or a storm is gonna kill everyone else. And I have never seen a story like that ever before. Ever. That is so new. It's the concept of it. You know, choosing a tornado or our friend that was originally shot in the first chapter that we have to keep alive the whole game. that says random witty comments every now and then, just slightly more unlikable. That, I've never seen that concept before. That's sarcastic, by the way. That is literally point by point the plot of Life is Strange 1. But the groundbreaking thing is, chat, this time, aside from running away with your friend from the tornado, you drag your friend and push them off a cliff into the tornado, which then shows your super cool superpower. And that's when you can take pictures of them. And then double expose, a game title! And then bring them out of their body.
Cherry for the one
you know? Like, you know how Doctor Strange, like, fingers the air and then poof, your JoJo stand away from your body? You do that, but with a camera this time. And then... Ooh! By the eye of Agamotto! And then that's what we do with the camera. And then once you spawn back in, they write in Comic Sans 1 week later, and they end with, Max is coming back in Comic Sans. Right on screen, you know? And I'm like, wow. And let's not mention the dialogue. So I have never once had any conversation with a person that is anywhere close to any person talking in this game, aside from a conversation with Moses. That is normal. Everyone else speaks so fucking weird, right? Because all they do is get horny, drunk, high, or just really fucking entitled for some reason. And let's not mention the fucking clear, like, to your nose shit. Like, this game thinks the players don't have a brain, right? What happened to nice subtlety? You know, like, subtly implying that something is bad without having to write it down. It's very ironic considering the whole premise of this game is about poetry, right? But Michi, it's not about poetry. Hear me out. In Life is Strange 1, Max is in class learning about photography. And it makes sense. And here's the thing, right? In the first game, you play as Max taking photography. And it makes sense because the visuals of the game were so aesthetic. The UI was so aesthetic. The world was aesthetic. When you take pictures, it actually looks aesthetic. So they know what they're working with. In this game, however, it revolves around writing, stories, poetry. Very fucking ironic because the game's writing is so dog shit, right? It's like, as if I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna make a game about a person that goes to fashion school. And they're about fashion. But then everyone in there wears a tank top and jeans. I have never disliked a game this much. It's like, usually homages are bad. It's just never been this bad, IMO, you know? So... for a game about writing, the writing is absolutely shit. Even then, we'll see the artwork. You know, we'll see the work of like, oh, this is Safi's writing. Look at how deep and meaningful and talented Safi is. It's literally, he lied, she believed Sabib. Like, it's that shit. Okay, I'm not even kidding. As she is drowning, she drowned. But you don't get it, Michi. In the original work, that the other guy, Maya, wrote, she wrote about drowning and how suffocating it feels to leave her family, and that's why the poetry is deep. Brother, we get it, right? And then one of my favorite ones so far from all of this time was when we were fighting in the eye of the storm. Everyone was freaking out. Everyone's like, holy shit, I just got fucking violated by Safi because she was in my body and she was speaking in my head and I couldn't control myself. Aside from Vin was kept together. You know, he was thinking, was like, that was weird, right? Everyone was having a panic attack but Vin. And you know what Vin said? Vin said, that is her pain. This is Safi's pain. I feel it. The pain in her heart. Shut the fuck up. Shut. It's like, woe is I shit. You know what I mean? There are so many times in the game that instead of telling how much she suffered, they say it. For a story about writing, they don't know. It's not that they don't master. It's like they don't even know the existence of subtlety. There is beauty in being subtle. Not everything has to be fucking said word per word in Comic Sans, right? But the game doesn't get it. But it's okay. Maybe that's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? And then he goes, that's her pain. I felt it. And then guess what her pain was? oh, her best friend died. And she feels guilty because she also egged her on. However, no, it's not my fault. My mom told me to do it. My mom told me to fucking tell her to just shut the fuck up. Even though you are the victim, don't say anything. And I feel bad. People are like, you can't blame Safi because she was a child. She was a university student. That's one. Second, people do bad shit. Right? The only difference of children and adults is taking accountability. The fact that Safi is not taking accountability shows that not only is she vindictive,
for the sub.
She doesn't even want to accept the fact that she fucked up. You know? And I know people can disagree with me. That is fine. This is just my opinion. Right? If she is actually remorseful, like in Life is Strange 1, Chloe feels bad. Chloe's like, Max, they don't deserve this. No one deserves this storm. Just kill me. Like, Chloe actually feels guilty. In this game, Safi's like, I'm correct. And Chloe didn't even do anything. You know, Chloe actually didn't kill her friend. She played no hand in killing her friend. But she knows that what she did, like, people they don't deserve to die like this. But in this game, Safi did have a role in the death of her friend, but she never fucking takes accountability for jack shit. The mother is wrong too. Everyone is wrong. A game that with zero likable characters, and even the characters that didn't do anything wrong, is just so dislikable because they're not even real people. It's like Safi said, like, we're gods or monsters. Like, you're a freak. You're a psychopath. You're actually sick in the head. It's one of those things like you should not have powers because you're insane. That's the thing, right? We can go on a debate on like who is better to defend. The real truth is nobody. Nobody aside from Moses is borderline likable. Everyone fucked up. Everyone doesn't know how to act like a human being, which makes it worse because the writers just don't know what the fuck to do with it. And you know another thing that drives me fucking insane? $90 and I still don't know the full truth. Did you know that? Right? By the end of like when we called out this horrible teacher, Mr. Jefferson. Oops, I didn't mean Jefferson. I mean the original teacher that did something bad because I've never seen this fucking storyline before. The other teacher. I don't even know his name because he's not even that memorable to me. He decides to bring Safi out and tells her the truth. And the truth was so bad that Safi had a mental breakdown and shot her mother. But what is that truth? I don't know. Oh, yoinks! We don't know. What is that truth that is so bad? I don't fucking know. It's implied that the mother hid everything. That's a crazy thing. We don't know the truth. The truth might be your mom was behind all of this. And she's like, my mother, right? But we know that though. We have known that it is your mother's fault. Since like chapter 3. So, what? And then, you know what's crazier? That drives me off the fucking rocks? I had to spend more money for this DLC paid content where we get a cat. And in the end of the game, the cat messages us. You know, it's like Pikachu speaking. Or one of those things that just shouldn't fucking happen. The cat messages us and gets angry at us. What was that all about? What was that genuinely all about? That is not worth my $30 fucking extra. It really was not. But okay. The writing was abysmal. Okay, no one there was likable. The conversation wasn't even relatable. And the only time a conversation was relatable, they decided to 180 after 2 seconds of me saying, wow, that's actually really good. I like this writing. They 180 and they go smash or pass. And then you get to smash or pass the only like 5 interactable NPCs that you've been talking to. Yeah. Everything else, it was so dog shit. There were so many bugs. Let's get into the bugs. So many audio glitches, like bug glitches. The cuts were so rough, right? it felt like I just bricked my screen. It's like there's one scene where Safi was supposed to transition, like she picks up a cup and she puts it down and you're transferred into a whole different world. But instead of it being a seamless transition, she picks up the cup, you get black screen for 2 seconds, and then she puts it down. And then she talks for 3 seconds and it black screens. It's like, it's as if the directors just didn't put in, like they didn't attach the clips together. There is like black screens in between seamless transitions. There's random audio cuts, random visual cuts. None of the fucking things were blended in any shape or form. It's like drawing makeup. But instead of makeup, you don't blend it, right? Why? I don't get it. And then... tell me one character that isn't Moses that you remember a personality trait of that isn't horny, drunk, or high. Just one. Any character. Like, if I were to be like, oh, give me back my hair. Like, Life is Strange 1, Victoria, right? She was an entitled girl. But she was entitled because that's her defense mechanism. The cat, true. Diamond? What is Diamond's key personality trait? What is a personality of Diamond that is so memorable? That you're like, wow, I like it. There is a sophistication behind that. Genuinely. She is woman. She has nosebleed. Wow. Which is Diamond again? Wow. You know what's even insaner, right? I'm not even on the point of honor.
Amanda is bi. She had a whole bi-lighting scene as her stand for attempted Riz.
Oh, actually, that's not true. According to the game, Amanda is a The fact that you said Amanda is bi, according to the game, Amanda is not bi. She is lesbian. Because there was a comment made by Vin that said Amanda is hot, but Amanda wouldn't even like my gender. Which means she doesn't like guys. Which means she is a lesbian. And the fact that you don't even remember that shows how shit this game is because you're trying to shove it in your face. The amount of times it's like, oh, by the way, I'm a lesbian and I'm gay and I'm bi. To your face. A karate chop to your face. Hit your face. Pop, pop to your face. Your neck. Neck slice. Face. That's how it feels like. Pia, pia. You know what I mean? Pia. Because we get it. We fucking get it. And then we can't even get to that yet, right? We can't. It's just so cringe. When they want to bring up, like, look, we remember Life is Strange 1. We did not forget our roots. Yes, they did. They didn't forget their roots because they never liked it. You can tell that the writers of this game does not like Life is Strange 1. And I'll say this, like, oh, that's not true. We love... You fucking... Get out of here with your PR statement. That is just simply not fucking true. If you like Life is Strange 1, you would have the decency to understand why certain characters act the way they do. The fact that in the end of the game, Victoria sends you a message, right? And Victoria says, ho, bitch. And he goes like, oh my god, you loser ass ho, XOXO. The only thing that they got right was XOXO. Victoria had class. She doesn't just call people like, oh my god, you ho. You fucking, oh my god, give me my camera, you loser ho. Like, she was posh. She had class. Yes, she was a bitch, but it's different. It's not this kind of bitchy. It's a different shade of bitchy. It's the right shade of bitchy. And in the end of the game, Victoria actually stopped becoming a bitch.
Have you played Alan Wake? The story was really good, emo.
I haven't. I have not. But at this point, compared to any other game, Life is Strange Double Exposure is like Wish from Disney. Just Life is Strange. And it is so fucking disappointing. The fact that if you played this game without playing Life is Strange 1 and you get teleported into the bathroom, you don't know what the fuck is going on, right? You don't know who the blue-haired girl is aside from her name. You only know she's your ex because they make it very fucking obvious it's your ex. Everyone else, you don't know. Who the fuck is Victoria Chase? Who the fuck is Warren? Who the fuck is anybody? You don't know these people. Because they didn't make it. So then you actually reminisce about your past at all. The only time you think about it is when you think about Chloe and a tornado. You don't even talk to your fucking parents.
Patch got
Weird!
scammed for $3. I just realized I can't name a single character in this game. Vin didn't say he wanted to bang except maybe Miso and the detective, and Vin didn't meet the detective, did he?
Yep. It's just their personality is either horny, drunk, or nothing at all. Nothing at all. And everything is so to your nose, right? I was even telling Chow, I was like, bro, I am all for games, medias that are like bringing awareness to the LGBTQ community, to every etc. etc. But not like this. They fucking bring it up every couple of seconds, and it's so to your nose. Someone died, and then in order to be like, oh, look at us, we understand the struggles, someone wrote a message to to Gwen, and the letter was like, I don't know who else to go. I know we're not close, but I don't know who else to confine to. As someone of the LGBTQ community, and it cuts. All they talk about is like, I'm a guy, and I fuck guys and girls. Look at me. If you don't realize it right now, I'll bring it up 3 minutes later when you talk to me, that I'd fuck a guy and I'd fuck a girl. Look at I. Because that's all he fucking talks about. It's so fucking forced. When you enter the motel room, on the clock, it says ex-girlfriend. At the alarm clock. Because it's constantly reminding you of your ex-girlfriend. Wow, that's so deep! The innuendos, the unspoken story. It's so unspoken. I see it. What was that? What was that? Right? This is not awareness. This is just talking for the sake of talking. This is like, it's borderline insulting. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want someone to bring us and put us on a pedestal. Like, oh, look, everything is like woke, gay, notice us. No. The LGBTQ community is not a community that you can just profit from. It's like, it's so obvious that it's just pandering. You know what I mean? You don't care about it. You don't even know what the fuck it is. Because who wants to be seen in this light? Like, no one just talks about how they'd fuck both genders every 3 seconds. And then, oh, look at me, my ex-girlfriend. No one does that. The only people that do that are people that have nothing else going on in their life but the fact that their sexuality stands out. That's it, and they bring it out so much. What is the point of that? Genuinely. Like, if you have... I'm not insane. And then, there's one other dialogue that's like, I think it's supposed to be a joke. It's just not funny, but it's a joke, right? Where it's like, oh my god, they put you down because of insert all minority words here. And they did this twice, by the way. Like, they're gonna put you down because you're a woman and you're not white and you're like
how can they expect their writing will normalize LGBTQ people if they can't write them as normal people?
Right? That's the crazy. They can't even write the non-LGBTQ people as normal, which is insane. So maybe that's like an unfair judgment in my end. But yeah, it's like they're gonna judge you because you're a single mother and you're a woman and you're not white. But Michi, that's true. People do that. I'm not saying it's not true. People do that. It sucks, all right? Being a woman in this day and age sometimes sucks ass. True. But we are talking because she is covering up the suicide of someone.
White privilege for your superpowers.
Oh, no, hear me out, right? Where it's like, but Michi, you are so tone deaf. Because single mothers, women, and people of like a minority race do face inequality. That is true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying the context is this single mother woman of minority race is covering up the death and suicide of a student by protecting the actual person that did something wrong. You cannot hide your accountability over the shit that people can put you down for because you are avoiding accountability. I can be like, oh my god, guys, I know I fucking killed someone, but like, ugh, look at, I can't say that because the world's gonna put me down because I'm a woman. They're gonna put you down because you did something illegal. Because you're fucked in the head. You're fucked up. What you did was fucked up. You can't just say, oh, boo-hoo is I. The fact that they use that statement, which is inherently very fucking true and is a real struggle to mask accountability for something that they are actually wrong in, is so weird. is so out of touch and so fucking weird. And what? Us as a player are supposed to be like, oh, we understand. The fact that you were shielding an abuser is to protect yourself because you're a single mother woman. Of course not. We're gonna be like, no, what you did is still fucked up. Right? But now we're like, oh my god, that's so right, queen. Because you're a woman. And they're gonna step all over you. If this was like, I needed to be more bitchy. I needed to stand up for myself. Because in this day and age, if a woman yells, she's gonna be thought of as a bitch. That is so true. You know, a woman is not expected to be a bitch, right? We need to be firm, but not bitchy. And like honest, but not like straightforward and rude. Yes, there's a lot of one of those. That is true. Very true. But the context matters.
Let's play before your eyes one of these days to get rid of the caca game aftertaste.
Any game
Only
is gonna
2
do that for
hours.
me.
Great narrative,
Bro.
not $90.
I can play chess and it'll do the same. All right. The story. Oh my god. The fact that the horse moved forward is so empowering. I can see that now. It was so. Happy 2025. In some countries, shamans or apprentice shamans can legally perform marriages ceremonies. The characters in the game you played acted like sociopaths and psychopaths. What? Does that have anything to do? I like your statement, I think. Here's the thing, right? It's one of these. They bring up actual struggles
Just a wild guess.
with no context.
Double exposure wasn't worth $90.
Okay.
Just making sure to not jump to conclusions XTD.
If I got this game for free, I would like it a bit more. I would still be a slightly ticked, but not as pissed. $90 is absolutely fucking abysmal. All right? And that's not the first time they bring this up, by the way. And I wasn't joking, right? They mask accountability behind real minority problems. They did it again. Because then Safi is like, oh my god, I can't believe you white privilege your way to better superpowers. Buzzwords! Buzz. You know what I mean? It's like one of those, I'm so depressed and I'm so sad. I'm filled with anxiety and I'm so depressed and white privilege. Oh, look at me. I see you. I see you, minorities, and I know exactly how to connect to the minorities, right? Let's have people of different ethnicities and stuff and different any etc etc etc. Let's bring that up because we see you. We're gonna normalize this shit. Do it better. Do it fucking better. This is not proper representation. All right, sane people. If I fucked up, right, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, guys, I know I fucked up, but you have to understand it's because I'm a woman. No sane person does that. You know who does that? People that are just dodging accountability. Do not use actual debates, actual struggles that people deal with to mask something. Why? For the sake of what? I'm an ally? Get the fuck out of here. That ain't right, okay? We're not your friends. If we're your friends and you're like, oh my god, girl, it's so true. Sure, I would probably do that. You know, sometimes I support girls' wrongs and rights. Sure, why not? But as like a media dev, someone that works, this shit is consumed by thousands of people, you know? And the fact that some people would play this game and go, oh my god, she ate with that. I am now aware of the struggles of a woman. Oh, brother, do better. You know, fucking validifying or whatever the fuck is the word, your friend is different from spreading misinformation and then saying like, oh shit, this makes sense. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay? In order to be like, oh look, we support gay people, instead of treating them like normal people, which is what everyone actually wants, they bring them and put them on a pedestal. And go like, look at that, guys. Look, we put a medal on this gay person. We highlighted him. All the spotlights are looking right at him. And he's on top of a pedestal or whatever the fuck is the word. We are so good. No. We want to be accepted like any normal human being. We do not want to be isolated, whether it's glorified, overdone, or rejected. How hard is that to comprehend? Media nowadays, right? I don't understand how that is not entering someone's brain. We do not want to be over-glorified and used as like a, wow, look at us, women, willa we, billa be vibe. We just want to be like everybody else, you know? That's it. How difficult is that to grasp as a plot point? Having people that are LGBTQ or of minority race in your media is a great thing. Not when you are representing them. So shit. They do that in so many TV shows too, now lately as well. Again, this might be a bit more controversial, and you can disagree. That is okay. You know, if this is how you want to be seen, that is fine. As someone that is also a minority, woman, and LGBTQ, I do not want to be seen this way. This is like my nightmare. Every time I play a game or fucking watch a movie that is like this, I click away. The only issue is I spent $90 for this. And you know what's crazier? Life is Strange 1 did such a good job. They were like,
got scammed
wow.
for $4.20. We, Life is Strange devs, support gay people, but they also apparently cause freak storms that cause untold property damage and loss of life. Also, we brought a color wheel. Enjoy.
Dude. Like, the first Life is Strange, I'm complaining this much because the first game that they're trying to pay homage to, right, did it so well. No one was like, oh my god, Chloe, you, a woman, likes Max, a woman. You go, girl, because you, a woman, loves Max, a woman. Yes, girl, you fucking eat that pussy. No one does that. In Life is Strange 1, no one gives a shit that Chloe and Max were closer than usual. No one cared. And that was chef's kiss perfection. They treated the love relationship of Chloe and Max the same as if Max were banging any other gender, because that is perfect storytelling. In this game, somehow, they decided to shift it up. Why? No clue, guys. Whoopie loopie la. And then...
Thanks, Pete 836 for the sub.
And then you know what's insaner? It doesn't even make sense in the end. What actually happened? Right? Like, is the mom a villain? Is the teacher a villain? Is Safi a villain? Who? What is the point of the game? Why did we try to help Safi? You know, it's like, the fact that in the end it says Max will come back. The scariest part that I am just absolutely like, wow, I'm shocked in, is the fact by after playing for 8 hours and spending $90 fucking for this fucking game in which I get a cat. Yay, that I get to pet one time. Yay. And I get to choose its color and its name. Wahoo! And I also get to customize Max after every chapter.
The devs are so out of touch. There's a transphobia filter in the settings, which warns you that there is no actual transphobia in the game. But there's implied transphobia. And there's a filter for it.
Listen, I'm not gonna say that is bad. Some people might really like not like that, right? But I played with transphobia filter off. There is implied transphobia, you know, but nothing actually like, wow, you know. But listen, if some people don't like that, I'm not gonna judge it. I think the like trigger warning settings in the game is actually a pretty good touch. Hear me out. Just because I am not like sensitive or triggered by certain things doesn't mean other people isn't, right? You do you, you know, like whatever you're comfortable in. I actually quite like that. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the like trigger warning filter that they added that you can toggle on and off. That was not an issue for me. The issue was every fucking thing else. And the UI being absolute dog abysmal, right? You get to change your looks, and then you also get to decorate your cat if you pay $30 extra. And then your cat messages you and breaks up with you. Okay. Aside from that, right? The fact that in the end of the game it says Max Caulfield will be back hints that there will be a Life is Strange double exposure 2. And I have never been more fucking afraid in my whole entire life. Someone, right, the fact that this game passed game testers, you know, usually in games, correct me if I'm wrong, but they send the game and people will test play it and be like, oh, it's buggy here, it's buggy there, the story makes no sense. It's like criticism, you know? Critics will tell you what to change before you release it to the public. The fact that this underwent all of that shit and somehow still got released? Who the fuck criticized this game? Who? Clearly, it can't be Life is Strange fans. So who is your target
No, Michi,
demographic?
people paid $90 to test the game.
Yeah, and then we gave a comment and they still didn't change shit. It was still so fucking buggy. Multiple times in the game, the camera would glitch right in front, right? We would be T-posing. The audio bugs exist. I don't understand it. And what I really don't get is who the fuck okayed this? Like, what is your target demographic here? Because if your target demographic are, one, people that like the Life is Strange series, two, people that are minorities or LGBTQ, I am both and I hate it. You have missed the target so far off. I'm not the only one. It's so ass. There's just so many bad things about the game that I can't like pinpoint one specific thing. The only thing I can say is just, I can't do it. If that is all that Max is boiled down to, no wonder the devs misunderstood Max so much. Max is a likable character because she makes awkward jokes about herself and take pictures. I can't do it. Life is Strange, it's so shit. Oh my god. It is literally one of the shittiest games I've ever played. In a long while. I think I feel this strongly because I actually like the game. And I'm just very disappointed. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I know I sound like I'm malding, but I'm actually not mad. I'm just so fucking disappointed. Reviews mixed. Let me check the reviews. Not recommended. I pretty much never leave reviews, but the fact that this game is being considered for awards is buck wild to me. Full disclosure, I'm a prize field shipper, but that's not the reason. I don't think this game is worth playing. Some thoughts implied Life is Strange 1 and True Color spoilers below. The internal drama at D9 clearly bled into the game. While episodes 1 and 2 were genuinely good, the rest of the story felt like it was written by at least 3 different groups of people that never talked to each other. Oh my god, true. True. The amount of she would not fuck that from so many characters was unreal. Nobody was recognizable from the first game, and the character arc seemed largely disjointed and flat. The ending was a carrot on a stick to whoever still had faith in the story to go somewhere.
Thanks Zero Sulks for the sub.
Wait, true! There were flashes of actual emotional involvement, but nothing that ended up leading anywhere.
You know when your parent says they're not mad, just disappointed? And it makes you want to jump off a building in Minecraft while on fire? That's the same vibe I'm getting from Michi saying she's disappointed.
Oh my god, D9 seemed afraid to explore any actual heavy themes with this game, which is part of what made the original Life is Strange and the majority of Don't Nod's catalog so powerful. True! In Life is Strange 1 chat, someone tried to kill herself in front of us, right? There were actual violence, actual issues that would make people feel so uncomfortable and like you're gripping your stomach. It was there. The mention of self-harm, suicide, mental health, it was brought to daylight. Here, none. Speaking of carrots on a stick, the way the DLC was handled with early access model, the outfits was all a joke. Blatant cash grab targeting the fans of the original game, who they led on. And D9 don't give us that bullshit about theory crafting. If you really wanted that, you'd go back to the old episode's model. The only reason y'all changed that was to extract more money from impatient players. Oh my god, true. Oh my god, true. Yes, so many people say they don't understand at all the point of the original game. It's so different. This feels so different. This feels like seeing a child that you cared about grew up into a drug addict. Like, it feels so fucking like, oh my god. I'm not even mad at you. You know, I kind of feel bad for you, but oh my god, what the fuck happened? What happened? I can't even say I like Life is Strange anymore. That's the shittiest part. Like, I would never recommend this game to anybody. It made me so, like, down. I'm not even mad. I'm just, like, really fucking disappointed. I wanted to like this game so bad. You knew this. Even I sent the original VOD. I was like, I'm so excited to play this game. Not even to Henya. No. Not even to anybody, bro. This game is dog shit. The writing made no sense. The homage made no sense. It was barely homage. It's like... It's as if, chat, I have a picture of vshojo in my background. I'm like, this is me paying homage about the vshojo's girls, and I never talk about it.
Would you like it more if it was only like $20?
No! I would like it more if it's like free. I would not pay more than $5 on this game. And that is the sad truth. Like...
You recommend this game only to people you hate.
If A Life is Strange, Double Exposure 2 came out, would you try it? Not at all. I didn't like True Colors, but the only reason I was somewhat like, you know what, it's actually not that bad, is because it's its own game, right? It had its own character, its own world, its own people. Like, True Colors was a whole new breath of fresh air kind of thing. So, like, if you don't like the story plot, it's just not for you, and it has no reason to piss you off that bad. This game was supposed to be a tribute. It was supposed to be a homage. And if it's like, oh, it's not, it's supposed to be its own world, then why use the name Max Caulfield? Remove the name Max Caulfield, right? Change it to like fucking Donald Duck for all I give a shit. And it's gonna still play out the same. Aside from that one scene with the bathroom, nothing made sense. You could have just... change the name Max Caulfield and write any other name, and the game will not be affected at all. The game would stay the fucking same. It is such a cash grab, down from like their fucking pandering to their blatant use of the past loved characters. For what? This garbage? To releasing pre-released access for beta testers. I have never in my life had to pay to beta test. Now I did. We learn things, you know? I had to pay almost $100, $90 actually, to be a beta tester. For them to not change any of the bugs, for the game to still be fucking buggy. The story is absolute shit, but I get a cat that I can call Miso. Yay. And then I get to pet it one time. Was it worth it? Not at all. I honestly feel bad spending money on this. I just literally could not refund it. It is so dog shit. And I am actually gonna... I wanted to like it. I actually did. It's just very fucking unlikable. The story is not relatable. It's so fucking slow paced. And it's paced so weird. Like... This is... how... you know... they... talk... to... other... people. Like that. Who would you date in the game? You know how bad it is, chat? Every single game I've played that had the option of romance, I never say no. For fuck's sake, I even downloaded a mod. My first ever mod that I ever got was so I was able to date every single character in Baldur's Gate 3. I have never once not chosen a romance route if provided. This game, I chose nobody. I did not genuinely want to fuck anybody aside from Moses. And even then, would I fuck Moses? No, he's just a likable guy. Not an attractive guy, just likable. I would fuck him because he's the only sane person there, right? Fucking anything else would feel like I'm fucking an inanimate object. You would have kissed Vind, though? Yeah, because of pure mold. Like, as a joke. I want to see how far this game can go for the levels of cringe. And I was gonna do it, but then you know what? I realized I want to just... if I have to be honest, I wouldn't kiss anybody, right? And you know how bad it is when I don't want to kiss anybody. What the oh, I am mauled balding. Mauled balding right now. It gave me a genuine headache. It was so disappointing. I have never once felt this disappointed. It's been a while. Which, you know what? Kudos to this game. Because I have never felt this disappointed in so fucking long. And I played League. I watched Arcane and I played League. I played fucking Valorant competitive, and I have not felt this upset in a very long time. Wow, I'm glad I missed the gameplay. I'm so sorry I subjected you to seeing that shit. But honestly, if I played it alone, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I think I'd take a hiatus, bro. So thank you for accompanying me. Play that fucking game. It was so, like, the only thing that kept me sane was chat's witty jokes every now and then. Like, the amount of times chat's is like, who the fuck does she think she is? Is she assembling Avengers? Chat's witty joke kept me sane. If it weren't for chat, I would have fucking flipped. Flipped! If you played alone, you would have refunded. Not true. So, when I paid for the game... Oh my god, it's... Well done for disappointing Michi more than League. It was so sad. It was just something.
The only thing that kept me was the rant after you finished the game, Kek.
Oh my god. And one person was like, should I, my partner loved Life is Strange, how the fuck am I gonna break this bad news to them? Don't. Alright? Just don't fucking tell them that it doesn't exist. Tell them that you can't afford it, and like just VPN block that game from your fucking computer.
I've been asking for the whole Avengers angle since we found out more than Max has a power. But with these directions, IDK if I want it anymore.
Oh. I feel like I'm like cradling myself. You can't tell, but like I am at a fetal position, you know? I don't know what I regret more. The fact that I wasted 8 hours or the fact that I wasted $90 or both. Something feels very disappointing to me. I just can't put my finger on which one disappoints me more. I spent $90 on a glorified playlist. That's all that was. The song choices are absolute banger though, but $90 on a fucking playlist? Wow. We've really fucked up, guys. We really fucked up nowadays. I would give this game a genuine 0 out of 10. 0. Like, don't even bother. You know what you can do, chat? You can just go on YouTube.
Look at the positive side.
What?
You got 2 full streams out of that.
Yay! Dude, this is what you can do. Aside from spending money on this game, go on YouTube, type in Life is Strange, double exposure, full gameplay, right? And watch it at 2 times speed. That way, you can actually listen to a normal conversation at normal conversational speeds. I'm not even kidding. You think I'm joking, but if you put Life is Strange double exposure at 2 times speed, that is normal pace. It's so unbearably slow. Unbearable.